Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is now look number 3 of just this week only using the Paletteopoly palette. This is part of a series I have called the Week of series where I upload a week's worth of videos using just one palette. If you're interested in seeing that, it is linked below in the description box. I think this look is really beautiful. I'm loving it. So if you want to see how I did it, don't go anywhere. If you've never been here before, hello, my name is Rachel and I am a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. I really enjoy playing with colorful eyeshadow. I upload several videos every week. It's all eyeshadow related content, so I do hope that you will consider liking and subscribing before you go. Let's get going. I'm going to prime my eyes. This is the Glamlight Icing Primer in the shade Buttercream. I have this in 2 colors. I opted to use Buttercream over the White Frosting shade because the look I'm planning on doing today is more warm toned and smoky, and I thought that I didn't want it to be on a very bright white base. I hope you guys are enjoying this Week of series. I've been saying for ages that I was going to do a week of Paletteopoly, and what with having a baby and then trying to find some sort of routine with that baby, as well as with a toddler and an older child, it's just been a bit of a challenge with scheduling, but I'm really excited to be putting out these videos for you. I haven't really slowed down too much in filming in general. I think I've done pretty well keeping up with it and making the time, but it's a matter of some days I'm definitely being interrupted with the baby crying over the monitor, and then my older daughter might go up and try to settle her or whatever, you know, and sometimes I need a longer chunk of quiet time to really get a decent video done for you. Or my baby wakes up multiple times during the night, and my best filming time is early morning before everyone's awake. So those have been the challenges, but I think I'm doing all right. I've been loving the process, still really enjoying this hobby, really enjoying putting on eyeshadow and being creative and playing with color. So I truly hope that you guys have been enjoying my videos as well. There are 2 shadows in this palette which look really similar. This one called Big Hair and this one called Mixtape. This one you can see is more of the green neutral or brownish row, and then this one over here is with the purples. The undertones of these colors are different, and I want my look to be a bit more purple, just a little bit more purple leaning. So with that darkest color, I'm gonna start with a Blend Bunny B4 brush in the shade Mixtape because I want more of the purpley undertones, and I'm gonna place this on my lash line. This is gonna be a darker, moodier sort of look. Hopefully it works out all right. I have a plan. I don't know how that plan is going to look in the end. All right, so once this color is packed in pretty well at my lash line, I'm taking the same brush and I'm just gonna slowly buff it up a little bit. I don't want a super stark line, so I'm just softening it and working it upwards into the lid space. Now I think with the same brush, I will take the shade Digital Pet, which I've never used before. So let's go into Digital Pet and place that on that stark line that I blended out and working this up as well. I guess this is technically going to be a smoky eye. I'm approaching it from a different angle though. Sometimes it's fun to simply throw in a different technique and see how it works. See how you like it, see how it looks. I do want to keep Digital Pet just below my crease. I have learned that I don't like my eyeshadow to be blown up too high or too close to my brows. No matter how many colors I lay down, I still want to keep them a little bit on the lower side of things, more like in my crease and just outside onto the brow bone, but not too much higher. It's a very fine line, but I know what it feels like when it's too high for my tastes. So I'm being careful with this Digital Pet shade. I'm really concentrating it in just a thin section above that darkest Mixtape shade. And I want the purple, but I don't want to bring it too high because then when I blend it out further, the blending out shade will go higher and higher. You know what I mean? It's just gonna get out of control. So I'm wiping off my brush, and now I'm gonna take this shade. I'll take Friends and put that right above Digital Pet. And this now is working up into my crease. I'm using the Blend Bunny brushes. I find that I really like the Blend Bunny brushes. They, along with everything else that I'm using, is either mentioned or linked down below in the description box. If it's something that you can purchase, it's linked. Anyway, I'm liking the Blend Bunny brushes because they're a little bit smaller than what I had been using, and they're really good for hooded eyes. My eyes aren't totally covered with a hood, but they are probably halfway covered, and the small brushes are really nice for precision work. When you have hooded eyes, you really do have less real estate to work with, so a small brush is excellent to get the definition that you might want in a smaller space. I don't know what these brushes run for at regular full retail. I bought these on sale. They had ordered a batch which had a slightly faulty adhesive, which by the way, I haven't yet had to fix, but if I did, it would just be a drop of super glue where the ferrule here was a little bit wonky. So anyway, they reordered new brushes with the new adhesive, but they were selling off their stock at 50% off and BOGO. Some people really stocked up, and I did consider this. Some people ordered 4 sets, paid the price of 2 sets, and got 8 sets. Some people, especially professional makeup artists, really stocked up, and I did consider that, but I thought, this is a low-key hobby. I do not need tons of eyeshadow brushes, and it was just a 5-piece set, so I thought 2 would be quite sufficient. And honestly, I've been using these almost exclusively ever since. There are a few other brushes in my collection that I might grab, but these do pretty much whatever I want them to do. Unless I need something extremely specific, I'm quite happy with these. Okay, that is looking nice. I'm gonna take a slightly larger brush. I think I'll grab the Blend Bunny B5. Now this is where I get a little nervous because I'm loving this. This is so deep and grapey and moody. I love how that's looking. I'm concerned that if I dip into any other shadow in this palette, because there are no true pastels, the lightest tones are still mid-toned, and there's a lot of pigment in this formula. I'm thinking of grabbing Vogue or Mullet to blend this out, but I think that that's just gonna bring in too much color, and what I really wanna do is take this purple and fade it into nothing. So I'm taking a clean blending brush, and I'm just gonna work at the edge of that Friends shade, and I'm just gonna blend itself out into nothing. I'm not adding in any more color, because that will bring it too high. Okay, so I am loving how this is looking. These colors are so beautiful. And they really did blend out quite nicely. I'm glad I didn't bring in another shade to buff it out. I'm glad I just worked with the shadow that was there and, you know, buffed it out into where I was happy. This is beautiful. I'm gonna take a small and pinch blending brush so it gives me a thinner line. Okay, so here's the problem. I was gonna start here and then take a blue shimmer and tap it on top. Tap it on dry so I wasn't getting a lot of high shine pigment, just a little bit of blue sparkle. And that blue sparkle would then play into my plan of blue on the lower lash line. Should I do that? All right, so here are the shimmers that I'm considering. I might just leave it all matte. I'm not sure. This is the shade Purple Rain, this is the shade Acid Wash, and then this is the shade Boy Band. I think I do not want to use the purple shimmer. So this one's too green. It's really pretty, but it's too green. Okay, so that leaves the shade Boy Band, which is kind of a blue purple. I've decided that none of those shimmers are going to bring what I want to this lid space because they're just not sparkly enough. If they had a little bit more of like a glitter aspect to them as opposed to a shimmer formula, I'm not sure. But now I'm trying to decide if I should put purple on the lower lash line or blue. How about I do both? Here's the shade Friends. I'm going to put this on my outer corner. This is a very pinched blending brush, so it gives me a little bit of wiggle in the bristles. It's not too dense, but it's also pinched and it gives me a nice clean line. Now I'll clean off this brush. And I'm going to go into the blue. It's called Leg Warmers. Oh, I don't know that I've used this one before either. There's a lot of pigment on that brush. I'm going to start this in my inner corner and carry it all the way to meet the purple matte. I have some purple here that, oh dear. I have some purple here that's smeared. I'll have to clean that up in a minute. All right, so this is where we are now. I want to accentuate that blue a little bit more. I feel like I've got 3 options for shimmers to work with this blue. I feel like I could take Boy Band, which is more of a blue-purple shimmer, but not super sparkly. Acid Wash is more of a blue, slightly green leaning perhaps, and then VHS is more of a neutral brown, mauvey kind of shimmer. VHS actually, I think, has the most sparkle or the most glitter that I'm looking for, and I feel like the other 2 shimmers might just kind of get lost in the color that I have laid down. So I'm going to take VHS. I don't know what this is going to look like. I'm putting on a really small blending brush, and I'm going to spray it after it's loaded on the brush. Of course, there's the scrunchy option, which is that lemony yellow shimmer, but I've used that in both of my looks so far this week. That's my favorite shimmer in the palette, hands down. So here's the shade VHS. I'll put this starting at my inner corner because I know it's going to work there. Do you see how it has sort of a brownish, silvery green sort of tone to it? But now, when I put it on top of the blue, let's see what it does. All right, it definitely brought it a little bit more to the green side of things because of the undertones of the VHS shade. I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it. So now I'm going to dip into the blue that was a little bit more green leaning. It's called Acid Wash, and I'll place that on the edge of VHS into the blue matte, and that's going to help. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but that's helping transition between the VHS shade that has the browny, silvery green sorts of undertones into the blue and the purple mattes over here. It's just bridging the gap a little bit. And just in this outer corner, I will take a smudger brush and go back into Mixed Tape, which is the darkest matte I used. And I'm just putting that right out here. I don't want to overlap all of Friends because I want the transition. Can you see all those different colors on the lower lash line? It's sort of peacocky. We have the bright, sparkly inner corner, which is a greenish, brownish silver. And that on top of the blue matte turns it a little bit green. And then I went into the bluish, greenish shimmer. And then I went into the blue matte. And now the light purple matte into the deep purple matte. It's a lovely peacocky kind of effect. And I think that makes it a lot more interesting. It's not as dramatic and smoky perhaps as it could have been if I just brought those purples all the way in, but that sort of look tends to make me look kind of tired because of the depth at my inner corner, whereas this, I think having that interest on the lower lash line brightens things up a bit more. I'm going to take a little bit more VHS still on that same tiny blending brush and just pop a bit more here. A matte inner corner, like a matte white inner corner would have been beautiful as well, but we're staying within Paletteopoly, so that's what I've got to work with. All right, I'll choose something for my waterline. I'll be right back. This is probably one of my favorite looks in quite some time. Isn't it just gorgeous? It's so smoky and moody and sultry, and it's got the pop of multiple colors on the lower lash line, so it's not depth all the way in. I feel beautiful. And do you know what's funny? My goals today are to put away some laundry and clean my shower. So yeah, I'm gonna look fierce while cleaning my shower. Let me tell you how I finished it off. In my waterline, I put this green. This is the shade Aglow from ColourPop. This shade is very much like the undertone of that VHS shadow that I put in the inner corner. It's sort of a soft green metallic, so I thought that would match quite nicely. And then I have some eyeliner. I just did a very small wing in the outer corner, that's all. And on my lips, I'm wearing NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Cinnamon Roll. I do have a little bit of bronzer on my face. And oh, for a highlighter, I took the shade VHS, I dipped my finger into it, and I put just a tiny little dab up here as a brow bone highlight, which I rarely do, but I enjoy doing those for smoky, deep, sultry, really dramatic and dark looks because they bring some lightness out here in this part of the face, and that helps open up the face visually. I also did the exact same thing for a face highlight, so you might have seen that on my cheekbone. I did it really, really lightly, so I don't have color or sparkle everywhere. It's just a soft, light, little bit of glimmer. I think this look is beautiful. Please tell me what you think. This is so pretty. Wait, I have to look at it again. Oh, the purples and the way they merged together, the mattes worked so beautifully. They look so nice with this weird blue, green, yellow sort of combo on the lower lash line. I love this look. I am going to try to get one more video this week, so that would be the 4th video using the Paletteopoly palette. Check below in the description box for my Ace Beauté playlist, the other looks that I've done just this week using this palette, and also my week of playlist, along with lots of other things, including everything that I'm using today. Please tell me what you think. I appreciate you being here with me. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the look. Of course, remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I can't wait to see you again in my next video. Bye!